Good morning, good evening, namaste from Sarina Michaels here, coming to you with another little insight. I was really feeling very touched today after attending a master class regarding shamanic insights. And as I was just thinking about one of the concepts, which is that everything is alive, everything has spirit, I was reminded of an experience I had last summer, which I feel led to talk about. It has to do with the plant lavender. Now, the shamanic view is that everything is alive and that everything is our relation. In the Lakota tradition, they use the term all my relations. And this is kind of a worldwide concept in shamanism, which, by the way, the word shamanism is simply a word borrowed from the Tungus people of Siberia, meaning wise people, or wise women, wise men, medicine women, the ancient way of communing with the universe, which has been around for thousands and thousands of years. So those of us that follow this cosmic understanding, this cosmic way of relating, or the worldview as we might call it, use the word shamanism in this very simple way to indicate that we are all connected and that we are all one. So, all right, so what happens if you're allergic to some fragrances like lavender? How can you think about this? I mean, because if you have an allergy, for instance, to a particular plant, and in the shamanic view, plants are our relations. So if you have an allergy to a particular plant, like I did to lavender, then there's always this sense of a negativity. It's a low level kind of, I have to avoid lavender, and then lavender becomes a sort of an enemy without even you consciously recognizing that, or perhaps acknowledging that. I would certainly have never used that term, or I would never have thought in my 3D brain, in my ego, in my the culture that I've grown up in, which doesn't give a whole lot of credit to the idea that plants have consciousness, that the plant people are part of our cosmic relationships, and that we're connected energetically. So coming out of that worldview into the shamanic worldview has been a progressive change for me. And while I'm always encouraging this for everyone, I would in no way say that I've arrived. But I would encourage all of us to keep on the journey of connecting with all our relations. Now, all our relations can include plant people, rock people, animal people, cosmic beings, and multidimensional beings, the star people, the planetary energies, Mother Earth herself, who's a sentient being. So that's just a huge, huge thing. It's a huge blessing. For real, it's a huge blessing to arrive at that understanding that everything has spirit. Now we move even further along into that concept, and we understand that not just living things have spirit, inanimate things have spirit as well. Your house, your furniture, your car, everything has a consciousness. It's not a human consciousness, but it's a vibratory consciousness, and we connect to all of that. So I digressed a little bit just to expand on the shamanistic view, but I want to talk about lavender and my relationship with lavender, which was, quote, non-existent. The reason is because every time I got near lavender, and there's some other flowers that trigger me as well, there was a sensitivity to the fragrance, and it would create or cause or trigger a migraine, a tremendously bad headache for me. And so whenever I would enter a room or be given a product that had lavender in the mix, there was this immediate aversion and I would have to give the product away, bless someone with it, because lavender is a wonderful essential oil. It's a wonderful medicinal plant with lots of healing characteristics. Not only that, it's beautiful. For those that are not allergic, it has a lovely fragrance. It's used in perfumes, it's used in bath oils, it's used all over the place. It's used in pillows, it's known primarily for its ability to calm a person. But if in case you didn't know this, it's good for burns, it's good for all kinds of things. So I had just gotten in the habit of avoiding lavender because of my issue. So last summer I was on a big road trip, and I went past, I think it was in Michigan, yes. They were advertising the biggest labyrinth in the United States. And so I'm like, ooh, I want to go there. Because a labyrinth is a place, it's, as you know, it's a place where you walk a path inward to the center, and then you walk the path outward to exit. And while you're walking this labyrinth, you're connecting deeply to Mother Earth. There's something that happens in your brain as you walk one path in and another path out. Now, that's a physical thing. There's also a spiritual thing that happens as you meditate and connect with Mother Earth. Well, I get to this place thinking how fabulous it's going to be. Acres of the labyrinth, with the center being a large multi-flowered garden, like an English garden, full of all kinds of flowers and plants, beautiful bushes and small trees and benches and places where you could just really meditate. And I was like, oh, this is going to be so awesome. But when I get there, guess what? The entire labyrinth is a lavender farm. The entire labyrinth is full of blooming lavender along the entire path. The pathways are actually just walking between lavender bushes and to the center of this large garden, and then walking back out again through the lavender. So I got there and I'm like, oh boy, I've driven all the way here and it's a lavender farm. What should I do? And you know, it's interesting. I just thought, well, you know, all right, so I have this reaction to lavender, but you know, the thought came to me, almost all the reactions I've ever had have been to lavender products. I've never actually been near a real lavender plant. Maybe I wouldn't react to a living organism versus a box of bathing salts, you know, bath salts with lavender fragrance. And who knows, maybe it's fake. And then I had this whole mind-blowing thing of, oh, what if all the lavender I've been reacting to is not real lavender? So this is what I felt led to do by spirit. I felt led to connect with the spirit of the lavender. That whole farm was covered with lavender. And I felt, it was interesting, I actually felt that there was a wound. For lack of a better word, I'm not quite sure how to put it into words, because, you know, when you're communicating with a consciousness that's not human, sometimes it's beyond words. So we tried to explain what happened, and we have to settle for whatever words we can find in our particular language to try to describe. So in trying to describe what I felt as I connected with the spirit of lavender, and I did this in the shamanic way, I just took myself aside and I went into deep meditation and reached out to the spirit of the lavender, and the lavender just indicated to me in whatever way it could that it was sad that we had not been able to connect, because I had formed a conclusion or made a judgment that I could not be in relationship with lavender because of my headaches. So I asked the lavender to forgive me. And I told the lavender how beautiful he is, and how grateful I was and am for all the wonderful work that lavender brings to the world, not only beautifying the world, and Lord only knows what lavender does for the wild kingdoms, you know, the wildlife out there, and the ecosystems that they're part of, but for what lavender has done for humankind. So I began to offer gratitude, and I began to walk the labyrinth through the lavender paths. And I had this strong experience of the lavender embracing me, just embracing me as I walked the labyrinth. Never had any kind of a reaction. I don't know whether it's because I harmonized and healed my relationship with lavender, or whether it's because my reactions in the past have been to lavender products, which still irritate me. They don't cause the headaches like they used to, but they're just not, most lavender products I don't believe are particularly organic. So I just want to say that you can connect with any of all of our relations, the rocks, the plants, the trees, the birds, the winged, the swimmers, the star people, but more important, do a self-examination and see if there's any kind of criticism or judgment that you've made toward any of our relations, and seek to bring harmony into that relationship. All right, coming to you. This is Sarina Michaels. Thank you very much. Bless you.